What's good, everybody? This is Robo from All Bark, back with another video. Today on the channel, I'm going to be doing a preseason NFL power rankings video, ranking each team 1 through 32 as we stand before preseason gets underway. This could also serve as a prediction video, as it's basically me predicting how good I view each team heading into the year as well. I may make division by division breakdown videos going over each team's schedule and predicting those in the future as well, but probably not for at least a week or two from now. Obviously, the NFL season is really unpredictable with injuries and breakout players and a ton of games that go down to the wire that can change a season, so I'm not expecting this list to be perfect when we look back at it later on, but as of right now, this is how I'd rank every team in the NFL 1 through 32. Number 32 and my Caleb Williams leader is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Anytime you're starting quarterback battles between Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask, you just aren't going to be super competitive. Obviously, they've got some guys on defense and some great weapons for either quarterback, but the overall talent on both sides just isn't enough to outweigh the quarterback issues in my opinion, and I would expect the Bucs to be in prime tank mode going for potential generational quarterback talent in Caleb Williams. Number 31 is a team I can see surprising some people depending on when their quarterback comes back from injury, and it's the Arizona Cardinals. As of right now, I see the Cardinals as a 3 or 4 win team, but that really depends on how soon Kyler can get back on the field and how well he performs under a new system and without his former number 1 target on the field anymore. Having the Texans' first round pick could incentivize the Cardinals to tank as well and potentially land 2 top 5 picks in the draft to add in some weapons on either side of the ball, potentially pairing Kyler with Marvin Harrison or maybe landing Caleb and trading Kyler elsewhere. My 30th ranked team is going to be the Indianapolis Colts, starting the season with a rookie quarterback in Anthony Richardson, with a weird situation going on between the team and Jonathan Taylor as well. It's hard to see the Colts making any sort of playoff push, and I would expect this year to be all about developing Richardson and adding to the team through another top 10 pick in the offseason while they figure out what to do with JT's future. Coming in at number 29 is a team in a similar situation within the same division. It's the Houston Texans. The Texans made a big splash landing both Stroud and Anderson with picks 2 and 3 this year, but the overall talent on the team isn't enough just yet to make a big jump. I do love their young group of guys on both sides and think they can take a step in the right direction while building around Stroud. I'm personally hoping Stroud connects with all 3 of Tank Dell, Nico Collins, and John Mechie this season, just so the Texans don't have to worry about trading away the pick that could have potentially been Marvin Harrison for Will Anderson Jr., because I really love what Will can bring to their defense and don't think they should regret that move at all. The Los Angeles Rams come in at the number 28 spot, as the roster just isn't nearly the same as it was a few seasons ago, and it's really hard to trust Matt Stafford's health this season. I wouldn't be surprised if the lack of offensive line play and defense caused the Rams to really struggle and elect to play Stetson Bennett at some point during the season. Having a healthy Stafford along with Kupp, Akers, and then Donald on the other side is definitely good enough to win some games, but the Rams just don't have what it takes to win anything over 6 or 7 games in my opinion. The 27th spot goes to the Las Vegas Raiders, who replaced Derek Carr with Jimmy G, and recent reports have suggested Devontae Adams may want out of Vegas, which would just make the situation even worse over there, and I don't see the Raiders competing very much this year. They've got some guys on the roster, but anywhere between 4 to 6 wins is realistic in my eyes this season for them. Coming in at number 26 is a team I wanted to rank a bit higher, but I have not been impressed at all with the quarterback play in camp so far, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. Desmond Ridder has not been performing well in camp at all, but this Falcons team has guys on the roster who can make a lot of plays for him in the offense, such as Bijan, Pitts, and London, and the defense has some studs as well. They'll definitely be competitive this year, but I think the quarterback spot is a definite concern, and if Ridder doesn't perform well enough, he could be getting replaced through the draft with a loaded quarterback group coming in. Number 25 goes to the Chicago Bears, who had a huge offseason including landing DJ Moore and some defensive additions through the free agency, as well as an improved offensive line for Justin Fields. They could be a team who outplays this ranking, but I think they're a year or 2 away from real playoff contention and probably win around 6 or 7 games this year. Number 24 is the Washington Commanders, another team who could move up if the quarterback play is better than I expect. They've got an aggressive defense with some real talent and some solid playmakers on offense for Sam Howell, but with their division being loaded, it's hard to see them being any better than a 7 or 8 win team, and I have them going 7 and 10 this season, finishing last in the NFC East, although they will still be very competitive throughout the year. The Carolina Panthers come in at number 23 on my power rankings, as I think they did a solid job of putting experienced playmakers around Bryce Young, with Miles Sanders, Adam Thielen, and DJ Chark, and they've got a solid defense as well to really compete for a playoff spot with an 8 or 9 win season this year. But for now, I think I have them going 7 and 10. I think Young's play will definitely determine that outcome, but a weaker division will definitely give them a shot to make some noise this year. Coming in at number 22 is the Green Bay Packers, who are starting the Jordan Love era and don't have enough guys around him to make a playoff push in my opinion. I definitely think they'll be a decent team, winning 7 games or so, but time will tell on if Jordan Love is the guy or just another bridge quarterback until another draft pick comes into Green Bay, potentially even this year or next year. Number 21 is the New England Patriots, a team who in my opinion is kind of stuck in mediocrity. They have too much pride, talent, and coaching to enter a full rebuild, but don't have the roster to make the playoffs, and are just going to hover around the 6 to 8 win area for the foreseeable future, unless some critical decisions are made. For now, I have the Patriots winning 7 games this season in a very tough division. Number 20 goes to the Denver Broncos, who I expect a better season from in Russell Wilson's second season as quarterback. Losing Bradley Chubb hurts the defense, of course, but they did add Frank Clark and get their running back back. So I definitely think an 8-win season is in the cards for Denver, and they could surprise some teams this year as long as they stay healthy and Sean Payton coaches the way he always has. The number 19 ranked team on my list is Sean Payton's former home, the New Orleans Saints. I like the Carr pickup as it gives them a real shot to dominate a weaker division, and I think they're the clear leader for it. Michael Thomas is back. Staying healthy is a big question for him, though. But if he does, the Saints are definitely an 8 or 9 win team in my eyes, and likely a playoff team thanks to their division. Coming in at number 18 is the Tennessee Titans, who added DeAndre Hopkins to the team recently, and enter a make-or-break season at quarterback with Ryan Tannehill. If he doesn't perform, they'll definitely opt for the future with Levis or Willis at some point, but I would expect Mike Vrabel to have the Titans in playoff contention, winning 8 or 9 games this season again. It's just hard to see a team with that defense and that level of coach really not doing well this season and entering that rebuild, so I do think they will try one more time to make that playoff push. Taking the number 17 spot is the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are another team who are kind of stuck in the middle until they really see if Pickett is their guy or not. They've got a solid defense and a solid offense, but neither really stand out, but they definitely have enough to contend just in a very tough division. I would guess they win 8 or 9 games, pretty similar to last year, and if Pickett proves himself, a 10-win season is definitely possible. Number 16 goes to the New York Giants, who just recently signed Saquon to a 1-year deal for this year, but didn't do much this offseason, although I think they've got the right coach and a solid group of guys. I'd expect them to be back where they were last year, around 9 wins or so, but that division is very tough, so the playoffs will come down to the wild card. The 15th ranked team is the Cleveland Browns, who I could see making some noise if Deshaun is back to his old self, or completely disappointing if he isn't. I really like their defense and offensive weapons around Deshaun, but will all come down to his play this season to determine how good the Browns are, as the schedule's pretty tough and so is their division. Adding in Zadarius Smith and Dalvin Tomlinson will definitely make their defense extremely hard to score on, but overall, everything is just going to come back down to that quarterback spot. My 14th spot went to the Minnesota Vikings, who lost some guys on defense and replaced Thielen with Jordan Addison in the draft, but they were definitely lucky to win 13 games last year. I do expect them to contend again, though, just likely around the 10-win mark in 2023, but I don't see them replicating the success they had last regular season, even with another likely massive year out of both Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins. Coming in at number 13 is the Seattle Seahawks, who had a great offseason adding in Devon Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba, as well as picking up a great rookie RB2 and Zach Charbonnet, and then of course reuniting with Bobby Wagner. This team is pretty loaded with talent and should be back in the playoff race if Geno performs the same as he did last year, with now an even better offense around him. I think they'll definitely win around 10 games in 2023. Number 12 for me was the Jacksonville Jaguars, led by stud quarterback Trevor Lawrence. They did lose Juwan Taylor on that O-line, but they should be back to compete for a division title and potentially another playoff win. I just don't know yet if they have enough to make a deeper run in the AFC. Definitely my favorite to win the AFC South, though. Number 11 is the New York Jets, who are a team I think could definitely be top 10, but the schedule is crazy tough, and it may take a few weeks to really gel as a team, causing the Jets to struggle early on. I think a 10 or 11 win season is pretty likely, though, so this is the right area for them in my opinion on this list, but they do have the talent to move up, especially if they're able to land Dalvin Cook and then pull off a trade for Devontae Adams. Grabbing the first top 10 spot is the Miami Dolphins, who I have winning 10 games this season despite losing Jalen Ramsey for the majority of the regular season with an injury suffered in camp. I think they've got a ton of talent as long as Tua performs well. They can beat just about anybody in the NFL. Definitely deserving this spot, but the Ramsey loss could hurt them, especially in division games, as the division's very tough, and it's going to be very tough to win week in and week out without Jalen Ramsey, even with the Eli Apple addition. My number 9 team is the Detroit Lions, who I think have a super easy home schedule and overall just have a few tough road games this year that they likely drop, but this will be a really exciting group to watch every week. They're divisional favorites, and if they take care of business against the Packers and Bears, they should definitely go at least 10-7 at the worst. But I have them picking up 11 wins this year, locking in a playoff spot in the NFC with their first ever NFC North Division crown. No, I don't think the Lions currently have enough to make a deep playoff run, but the goal this year should be able to get there and then compete for their first playoff win in a very long time. Coming in at number 8 is the Los Angeles Chargers, who gave Herbert another playmaker, picking up Quentin Johnson in the draft, who looks incredible in camp so far. The defense is definitely solid and needs to stay healthy this season, but the Chargers are definitely a top 10 team to me. They just need to win a playoff game this time around and stop the choking in the playoffs, or else it may be time to change some things up around the club. My number 7 team in the NFL is the Baltimore Ravens, who definitely improved the offense by adding Zay Flowers and OBJ into the mix for Lamar, but this season is going to come down to him staying healthy all year. If Lamar is healthy, this team is talented enough on both sides of the ball to win 11 games or more and make a push for a playoff run, but his health is definitely a big question mark with the amount of time he runs the football, so hopefully an improved passing attack can help with that. Overall, the Ravens are definitely a big sleeper team, but it's just going to come down to being healthy and then, of course, passing the football in the playoffs. Coming in at number 6 is the Dallas Cowboys, who I think made an incredible addition with Brandon Cooks. Dak can be shaky at times, but he's got a loaded roster around him and could be in for a big year, and the Cowboys defense could be elite this season again, especially adding in Stephon Gilmore. I don't know if they'll be able to top the Eagles, but they'll be in the hunt for the division crown in the NFC East in my opinion, and of course be one of those teams that can definitely make some noise in the playoffs. My 5th ranked squad is the San Francisco 49ers, who may have the most talented roster all around in the NFL. The quarterback position is my worry with them, as I do like Brock Purdy, but it's still yet to be seen if he's truly a franchise guy, or if the 49ers have to keep searching. They definitely should be dominant enough for it not to matter though, but if Purdy really is the truth, the 49ers could be a Super Bowl favorite yet again. Coming in at number 4 is the Buffalo Bills, who I think may end up being my pick to make the Super Bowl this season out of the AFC. I love this team on both sides of the ball, and I think Josh Allen may finally get to the Super Bowl, shutting down all the talk about his high turnover rate with a big year. However, as it stands right now, it's hard to rank them over the other 3 teams just because of that turnover issue and the ongoing situation with Stephon Diggs. If this team stays healthy and strong though, they'll be in the mix without a doubt. My number 3 team is the Cincinnati Bengals, who recently had some tough news surrounding Joe Burrow, who will miss several weeks with a calf strain. If the injury is more serious, the Bengals fall way down this list, but as of right now, I think the expectation is that he'll be good to go within the first few weeks of the season, and the Bengals will be dominant all year with him healthy. I think this team has what it takes to win a Super Bowl on both sides of the ball, but Burrow's health is just the obvious question around the team right now. The Philadelphia Eagles take my number 2 spot as they replaced Miles Sanders with Rashad Penny and DeAndre Swift, and had an incredible Georgia-stacked draft class to add to an already loaded team. They did lose some guys in free agency, however, but they should still be a similar team as last year, winning 13 games in my opinion. Anything less than 12 is a disappointment from this roster, as I think they should look like the contender they are all season long, and could be right back in the bowl this year, hoping to come in for a change outcome. My number 1 overall team is the Kansas City Chiefs, who deserve this spot just out of respect of being the defending champs. They did lose some guys on both sides of the ball, but you can't ever doubt Patrick Mahomes' elite ability to lead his team deep into the playoffs each year, and I expect nothing less this season. I like the wide receiver group around him, although there's no clear-cut wide receiver 1, but it's Patrick Mahomes, and he proved last season he didn't need one to win it as long as he had Travis Kelce on the squad. They should be right back in contention for the Super Bowl again and finish with the best record in the AFC, as I have them winning 13 games this season. There's my full 32-team power rankings as we head into the preseason. Obviously, this could change a bit with some free agency moves as well as some potential injuries or trades that happen over the course of the next month. But I'm extremely excited for the season regardless, and I can't wait to see it all get started September 7th with my Lions taking on the defending champs on Thursday night. Alright, that's going to be it from this video, guys. Thanks for watching once again. Feel free to like the video and subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.